bitches, don't bang my shit. Ready to get ready, I'm slaying this bitch. All my bitches, all my bitches.
What it do, y'all? It's your boy King Say So, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today we got the criminal history of Blueface. Before we get to the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you check out the description box and follow my other channels. My vlog channel, my second react channel, my podcast channel, Risto Media, as you've seen in the t-shirt. Links are in the description. Make sure you hit the like button because we are on the road to 8K. More people hitting that like button, the faster we can get there. So you gotta hit that like button. You gotta watch the full video. Don't skip the match. Let's get right into it, man.
Blueface may be only 23 years old, but he's had more than enough success in the hip-hop world. He first broke out with the viral Tatiana and Respect My Crippin' in 2018, grabbing millions of views and streams. His sudden internet fame caught him the attention of Cash Money West, the LA location of the East Coast-based record label Cash Money, and was on his way to legit stardom. Most recently, Blueface has made headlines for sharing some questionable content on his Blue GC 2020 reality series available on OnlyFans.
No kidding,
if you follow the rapper's life and career at all so far, or seen any of his music videos,
hey, when it comes to Blueface, let his career, his come up, glow up, whatever how you want to call it, show you that you never doubt yourself. Because he wasn't even a rapper. He didn't even think he could rap. Didn't even know he could rap. He just went in the studio one dance, boom, and liked the way he sounded. And then never let the negativity of other people rub off on you. You see what everybody said. We all said, even I said it when he first came out. He offbeat. But I knew as a person that loves music that all it takes is a little time for somebody to grow on you. And just because you don't like him, that don't mean other people don't like him. Everybody has their own fan base. Let's be honest. But let his glow up, his come up, show you that never give up, never fold, keep trying, because you just never know. It's either people gonna get in tune what you're doing, or you gonna what is it, like you gonna basically upgrade, and then everything gonna come together. Like you see now, if you hear Blueface now, this is not the Blueface from when he first came in. Like bro on beat now, he gassing, even though he's already going in, but he gassing now. He on beat, he's still pushing, still dropping music. Never fold, never bend. You feel me? Hit that like button.
you know what you can probably expect to see if you subscribe. Before Blueface organized a subscription-based underground ladies-only fight club, he was setting up a pretty healthy criminal record. So let's get right into it and take a look at the criminal history of Blueface. Jonathan Michael Porter was born in Los Angeles in 1997. He grew up in the mid-city neighborhood of central LA until he was in elementary school. When his parents split, he moved with his mother to Santa Clarita Valley before moving to live with his dad in Oakland. The hoods he lived in weren't known for being the safest places, especially as far as gang activity goes. Despite his older brother being involved with the street life, Porter himself cared more about school stuff than crime. While in high school, he played the saxophone in the marching band, but his real love was football. Jonathan was always on the school team, where he played as a starting quarterback his senior year, taking his team to the championships. He was so good that he was getting offers from several universities to play college football. He had his pick and ended up at Fayetteville State University in North Carolina, where he played for a season. However, after falling into a depression and being homesick, he decided to drop out and move back home in 2016. With no other prospects for a promising future, now that he wasn't going to school anymore, Jonathan started hanging out with the schoolyard Crips. He'd known them since childhood, but it wasn't until now.
Look, one thing we should all know by now. Back then, everybody, your parents, everybody's parents, you gotta go to college, you gotta go to college, you gotta go to... Nowadays, we see college, I say the experience is necessary. Like the experience, because you just never know who you're gonna run into, what other things you might start getting into, who you might fall in love with. Like you just never know what, especially when it comes to school. Like school is a part of life. Like especially, I don't know. I was gonna say especially public school, but I never went to private school, so I wouldn't know. I heard they got a good education system, but other than that, you can still, if you pay attention, if you go to a good public school and you actually pay attention, you can still get the same learning experience that you can at a private school. But school itself is necessary. To all my kids, to all my youngest watching this, man, make sure you get your education, because you just never know where it might take you. even if you don't necessarily use everything that you learned in school, it's still gonna be certain parts of the things that you learned in school, whether it was from a book or whether it's from just a personal experience, that's gonna show you things that you need to learn or that you need to know later on in life. Like, one thing, even though this is kind of simple, but it's real. I learned in school, like they tell you, don't cheat off the next person's paper, because you just never know if they're right or if they're wrong anyway. So therefore, you pay attention to your own paper. And I took that as, don't do what other people do, because my outcome and their income is not gonna be the same. Just because they did whatever they did and got this, that don't mean I'm gonna get it. And then never hate on the next. Stay focused on my bread, because once I'm paying attention to yours, I can't pay attention to mine, because I'm study focusing on yours. You feel me? Hit that like button though, man.
But he was looking to join up and become a member. At this point, Jonathan was trying to balance his street life with professional life and worked a few odd jobs here and there. His last regular job at a Home Depot ended when he got caught selling kush out the back. Once he was fired, he was free to pursue dealing full-time. He don't deal full-time for very long without getting into a bit of trouble. There aren't many records about his dealing days, but rumor has it that he got picked up more than once. Whether anything came of those arrests or charges isn't widely known, so we all have our rumors. Specifically, he was arrested at some point in 2016 in Santa Clarita, but no details are available. This means that either the record was expunged or sealed. Basically, it's like whatever that crime was didn't happen. After a while of dealing, a fellow Schoolyard Crip member, who was also an aspiring rapper, brought the soon-to-be Blueface along to the studio to check out his recording session. After the session, the pair were messing around, and Porter recorded himself rapping to see what it was like. He was apparently pretty impressed by himself, because he decided that rapping would be his career from that day on. He gave up most of the street activity, especially dealing, and focused on making music, sending out demos, and doing some online self-marketing. Of course, his ties to the Crips were still pretty strong. His new stage name, Blueface, is an obvious tribute to the game. All that focus kept him out of trouble for a while, but in an unfortunate event, Blueface was roped into another mark on his record. Just a month after being dubbed LA's most controversial rapper by Pitchfork magazine, Blueface got arrested. That day in November 2018, as Blueface was at Chevron gas station in Newhall, California, a stranger approached him. As he got closer, it was clear that he had bad intentions. He was armed and robbed Blueface right there where he was parked.
That's great. I didn't even know that.
A gray Dodge pickup heading to the highway. Blueface wasn't gonna put up with someone just coming over and stealing his stuff, so he hopped into his own car and took off after the robber. He caught up quickly, and they drove side by side on the highway. Shots were fired, and both drivers lost control of their vehicles, crashing along the highway outside Newhall. When the cops got there, they arrested both men. Even though Blueface was the victim of a robbery, he was still holding a weapon. He was arrested and received a charge of suspicion assault with a deadly weapon. That charge is a felony in California. The rapper had avoided felony charges up to this point, so he did not want to go down for this. Blueface had to spend the weekend in the county jail, but was released on Monday on a $50,000 bond. The Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station spokesperson made it clear that under the course of the investigation, detectives found evidence of a robbery prior to the shooting incident. Because the evidence matched Blueface's story, it was clear he had been a victim and wasn't a danger on being released. The rapper was quick to get on social media, filming a video as he walked out of the police station saying, "Y'all already know I'm out on bail. Stop asking if they freed me. I freed me."
Come on, man. Y'all know I'm out on bail. Don't ask me if they freed me. Nigga, I freed me.
After some time with the lawyers, charges were ultimately lowered to a misdemeanor weapons possession charge, which is still not a charge he was interested in. On December 27, 2019, he pled no contest. A no contest plea means he wasn't actually admitting to the crime, but he also wasn't going to fight the charge at all. In the end, he was sentenced to 36 months summary probation, 8 days of community service, and several fines and fees. After that arrest in 2018, Blueface stayed under the police radar for a full 2.5 months before he saw the inside of a jail cell again. On February 1st, 2019, Blueface and a few of his friends were loitering in a neighborhood near downtown LA around 7 p.m., causing a scene on the street. They were wearing expensive jewelry and flashing stacks of cash around, taking photos and videos on their phones. Residents nearby weren't happy about all this activity. especially since the neighborhood had been the target of several robberies in the previous month. The neighbors called the cops, saying they wanted to protect the men from getting robbed, that they were pretty easy targets, flashing all their valuables in the open. Of course, the group of men didn't see a cop car come over and think it was for their protection, so Blueface and the others took off running. One of them ditched the gun as they spread out, which was easily found by the cops as they chased them. The police caught up to Blueface and 2 of the men in the group, and the men were arrested. Because the weapon was loaded when it was found, Blueface caught a felony possession charge of carrying a loaded firearm.
What?
To make matters worse,
How you give the
gun
Blueface
was unregistered, which is not a good look if you're trying to stay out of trouble. The rapper was sent.
No. See, look. That's supposed to. Well, got. All right, they caught y'all running. All right, so yeah, okay, I can see it. But then again, it's still like that's supposed to be like, bro, how you gonna just automatically give it to him? It's a group of people ran. But see, that's why we saying. I said this multiple times. So all my upcoming rappers, artists, no matter what you're doing, beat making, drawing, whatever, you're an artist. But you gotta watch what you're doing and who you hanging around with, because if you're the person that has more clout or more money, they gonna give it to you. That's just like if you with some people and say you're 18, they're 16 or 17, they gonna say you're the person because you're the oldest. I don't know why it's like that, but that's what they always do. Like if you're a person that has a little clout, some fame, whatever. If your friends are doing something, your friends hurt somebody, like the like I want to say like the Rondo thing, but then he out of jail, so all right. But that's because they obviously seen who did it. But in most cases, that would have been like, oh, you're going to jail too, because he only shot him because he was protecting you. So basically, y'all both got to go. That's sometimes how it go. If Rondo there would have been regular street people, like us, it would have been over. We would have both been in jail. We'd have been fighting that from inside the jail cell right now.
To jail, but was later released on a $35,000 bail a couple days later. The felony charges carries a maximum of 3 years locked up. All that time away from the studio and his music career is not what Blueface wanted. After the news broke of Blueface's brand new charge, his manager, Whack 100, went public to say that the rapper was innocent in the whole situation and that evidence will prove that. Apparently, there was a surveillance camera at the location that caught the incident on film. Fingerprinting would show just who had their hands on the weapon in the first place. And it turns out, Whack 100 was 100% correct. According to Blueface's attorney, Alex Kessel, video evidence demonstrated the police misidentified Blueface possessing the gun. Justice prevails through video evidence, a fair judge, and a bulldog attorney. A rapper
have a good
prevails
lawyer,
on the merits of the
sure
case,
he's been in jail
not his
right
celebrity
now.
status. After this vindication, Whack took to Instagram to show off his and Blueface's success. Double dismissal. My lawyer threw them gloves on and beat another case. Hashtag Alex Kessel. Once the evidence showed Blueface was an innocent man, the charges were dropped. The case was thrown out, and Blueface was free from another felony scare. After these charges, Blueface has seemed more motivated to stay in the clear, legally speaking, so he's tried to avoid any sketchy activity. But trouble just kept looking for him. Back in June 2019, Blueface was driving his black Porsche through a residential neighborhood. He was pulled over and accused of speeding through the area. He was removed from the car and cuffed as officers tried to determine if that was actually true. Turns out, no laws were broken and Blueface was let go with a warning. It must have been nerve-wracking waiting there with cuffs on, especially if you're arrested while you have a pending case, like Blueface did at this time. You'll see a lot of legal complications and harsher charges. Interestingly, just a month later, the rapper would share a video to his Instagram story showing the remains of the same black Porsche being taken away by a tow truck with the caption, "Another one," after wrecking it on the road. It looks like Blueface has stayed in the clear since then, if you discount the Fight Club, and he's avoided any other arrests or legal trouble. For now, this rapper looks like he'll keep heading further into hip-hop stardom, with only a little bit of controversy here and there. And with his debut studio albums released in March 2020, he's looking at even more mainstream success. Here's hoping this self-proclaimed genius can keep up the good work and stay out of trouble. Well, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video,
man, he got lucky, man. I swear, look, on that last case, if it wasn't for him having a lawyer, he would have been in jail right now, and his career would have for sure been over. When you coming up, you can't take no days off, right? It's no days off. You can't, especially 3 years. Like, boy, you'd have been over 3 years. Whew, we would not be we would not be paying attention to no Blueface, man. It would have been over, man. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next video.